I'm with Anas Abu Srour at the Aida Youth Centre here in Bethlehem. Now, Anas, when was the Aida Youth Camp started?
It was established in 1968.
Now, you're here in Aida Camp. Can you explain a little bit about the history of Aida Camp? What is Aida Camp?
Aida Camp was established in 1950 by the United Nations Relief and Works Agency. The people who lives in Aida Camp, they are coming from 27 different villages and towns. These villages and towns were occupied in 1948 by the Zionist militias, and they forcibly expelled them from their villages and towns, and they became refugees in Aida Camp. And in 1950, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency started to provide the refugees with tents, with some services, to keep them alive, because they were living in this area without any kind of infrastructure or any place to work or something like that. Yeah.
So when they left their own homes, they were living in tents here in Bethlehem?
No, they didn't have any tents in the beginning. When the UNRWA came and started to work here in Palestine, they started to provide them with tents. Yeah. So for the first 7 years, while they were in Aida Camp, they were provided by the UNRWA tents as a shelter for them.
Wow, 7 years living in a tent?
Yeah, it was for 7 years. And then the UNRWA decided to build like one small room for every family, because the tents were damaged usually, and they need more than 2-3 tents a year. So in that time, they decided like to build one room for every family.
So now it's a big housing complex here.
Yeah, it's overcrowded area here. There's more than 6,500 people living in a space in an area less than 7 acres. So it's really overcrowded. The people, they started to build their houses in a vertical way. So when you come to Aida, you will see like kind of compound full of houses built like 5 or 6 floors. And the people, they are suffering from the overcrowded area, the poor infrastructure, the problems of water, because here we are provided by water just once every 2 weeks. So if you go around in the camp, you will find most of the houses, they have tanks over the houses to fill the tanks with water to use it within the 14 days.
Wow. And you're here at the Aida Youth Centre. Is the centre just for people of the camp, or can anybody from Bethlehem join the centre?
The center, yeah, the center, it's open for everyone, but most of the people who come and join the center, they are the people of Aida Camp. But we have also some people, they are from the surrounding areas like Beit Jala, Bethlehem, Doha. So we are open to all, but our focus on the people of Aida Camp, yeah.
Now you have many different projects. You have arts and culture program. Tell us a bit about that.
We have 4 main units in Aida Youth Center. We have sports unit, we have advocacy unit, we have arts unit, and we have education unit. In the education unit, we have a big program called the Support Education Program for the children who have poor achievement in schools. They come regularly every day to have classes in English, mathematics, and Arabic. And also there is different interventions like psychosocial interventions by a social worker who's working in the center also to develop their academic achievements and also their skills, their behaviors and extra. We have music school in the arts unit. We have 30 children. They are coming twice a week to learn how to play different instruments. And we have a band. They are playing different music. They are writing their own music, the songs, and they play it by themselves. We have also comics workshops. We have like 20 children also coming regularly to Aida Center to learn how to make comics. And we published 2 books now. It's made totally by the children. They wrote the stories and they made the comics. We have also cinema project, but now stopped after COVID. The children, they were making their own the films by themselves. They were writing the scenario with a specialist, and they were filming inside the camp and doing the montage. It's a process like to learn them and to to make them aware how the cinema works and made. We have also now an information center for the internationals. It's part of the advocacy unit. This information center was established in the mid of 2020. And now it's ready to receive the internationals to learn more about the Palestinian cause, the Palestinian refugees, and the Palestinian story. We have also social hub. We do different events for the people to discuss different books. We host writers, novelists, different people to talk about their stories, about their experiences, so that the youth will be aware about different things, about different experiences and extra. And we have part of the sports unit. We have football academy, and we have also table tennis team. The football academy, we have more than 150 children. They are part of the football academy. They are coming to the trainings twice a week, and they have a good time with this training, because most of the children, they love soccer or they love football. Yeah.
Do you have a lot of talent here? It sounds like you have a huge amount of things going.
Yeah, we have. Yani, really, when I started working here, I was surprised with the talents and the skilled children and youth that we have. But usually they don't have the space and the place to develop them and to encourage them, to continue and to work more, to have a better future for them, to develop their skills, to make them more well-known and, yeah.
The camp has a very difficult history, so is somebody going out collecting the stories of the people and making that into film and storyline?
Yeah, but lately, since COVID, most of this films or somebody to collect the stories was stopped because of the situation. But usually, we are focusing also to help the internationals, locals who wanted to document the stories, who wanted to make films. We had a project before. We collected the stories from the elderly people who lived in the Palestinian villages which occupied in 1948. And this project was focusing on the stories which happened in their villages before they coming to Aida camp, about the traditions, about the culture in each village, the well-known stories about their life, the suffering, extra, yeah.
I imagine it's very important to get those stories as well, is it? So you have a history of the past.
Yeah, for sure, people need to hear more about how the life were in the villages which occupied in 1948 and the cities also. So usually we ask the youth and the children to answer what do they know about the past, about the villages they came from or they are refugees from. Most of them, they tell you different stories which was told by their moms or by their grandparents. So it's important also to know about their past, to continue with their future. Yeah.
Is this a place for local kids and the youth just to hang out? Do they come and hang out here and have some fun here?
Yeah, for sure. It's a good place because we have a good space here in Aida Youth Center. We give them the opportunity to do different workshops and events. We also they are coming to play table tennis, football, to read, to write, to work, to have meetings here. We have the social hub here. So the social hub, it's open for all the youth and children, so they can come and hang out or chill out. Yeah.
If they weren't here, would they be getting into trouble outside?
It was, yeah. It's difficult also because the center is close to the separation wall and to the Israeli military camp. The Israeli soldier used to get down from the military camp and start to provoke the people and shoot tear gas and using different kind of weapons against the people who are in the area. And the youth center, it's very close. We usually had a lot of Israeli violations against the children where they are in the center, especially with the tear gas. One of the times, we were more than 50 people here in the center, and we stuck in the center because we couldn't leave after they filled the camp with the tear gas. And many times the center was stormed by the Israeli soldiers, and they try to use it as a place for the snipers or to control the area. يعني Aida camp, according to Berkeley Institute for Human Rights in California, they came before 4 years and they made research. They found that Aida camp is the most tear-gassed community in the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And tear gas is a very bad. I've been tear gassed a couple of times. It's a very, very bad thing, isn't it?
It's very bad, and many people they were killed by tear gas. Yani, there was a woman in a summer day. She forgot the window open in her house, and she was killed. She was suffocated in her house. You know, so many people they were killed by tear gas, and they are using it as a collective punishment against the people also.
Do you have people coming from around the world to come and help and volunteer?
Yeah, before COVID, we had many volunteers. They are coming and staying for a long time. Some of them, they stay for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. It depends, because Israel, usually they give them just a visa for 3 months, and they can't like apply for a visa, for a volunteer visa or something like that. We have a lot of friends all around the world, from Europe, US, Australia, New Zealand, and that's also make the people very happy here, like to know that there is in solidarity with them, and they are coming, and also they know more about the world and about what's happening outside.
Must be difficult over the last few years with COVID, because you're not really seeing any of these visitors that come and support you over the years.
Yeah, it was difficult because also, you know, we depend a lot on volunteers who are coming to help and to do some work, because we don't have like big budgets to cover like employees. So yeah, we lost the volunteers. It makes also the people like unhappy, because you know we are stuck alone. There is nobody coming or leaving. You know, it's something made the people like want like to end all of these closures and extra, so they can like return back to the normal life. Yeah.
Do any of the youth get the chance to travel? If you're doing a band or doing football, do they get a chance to travel abroad?
We are planning this summer like to have a tour in Denmark and France with our music band. We didn't do that before, but when I was a kid, I was playing theater, and I traveled to many European countries to play different performances. So yeah, there is like many people in the camp. They went out for tours and like to play theater or dabka, Palestinian dance, or other things.
And you've just been about to teach first aid, and you've been distributing clothes as well, haven't you?
Yeah. A part of our arts and sports activities, we have also relief projects. In COVID, we established a health committee. We were distributing different like aid to the people, especially oxygen concentrators, medications, medical supplies, because the hospitals were full and fully occupied. So we had like a good team with 2 doctors, 5 nurses, and 3 social workers. They were working with the people who had COVID, and they were like following up with them from the center, or sometimes they visiting them home. The people who were in a critical situation and the hospitals can't receive them, we got like different kind of oxygen concentrators, and we were sending them to their houses like to use it while they have the COVID. We distributed the groceries to the most needy families in the camp. We distributed just like 5 days ago clothes, jackets, shoes to the needy people in the camp. And we do our best like to help the community with what we can afford.
Is there a lot of poverty in the camp?
Yeah, for sure, because the unemployment rate here is very high. The people here, they don't have access like to work, you know. Here, the Palestinian market, it's very small, especially in Bethlehem. Bethlehem, it's a very small city, and it's surrounded by the separation wall and by the settlements and by the checkpoints. So it depends mainly on tourism. And since 3 years, there is no tourism, and the situation is getting worse and worse. Now it's more complicated than before, because many people also lost their jobs, which were depending on tourism. And the employment rate now is like 40%, especially between youth. Yeah.
Why do you do what you do?
Well, I was a banker before, and I realized that I am doing a job that it's not like helping the community or doing something for the people, especially that we are living under occupation and we have a critical situation here. And I see like how the kids, and I had like a difficult also childhood. We were always playing in the streets. We don't have like opportunities or chances. No, any. Mostly like there is like few people who's working with these kids or like trying like to give them a push, like to educate themselves, to think about a better future. So I decided like to start this work and to work with kids and with youth, like thinking about a brighter future for them, giving a push and educate them, enlighten them like how they should live and how can they build themselves and how can they have a better future by education, by learning new things, by having more knowledge about the world, the jobs, about like everything that we can like educate them about. And there is like when Trump cut off the aid to the UNRWA, we decided like to start this program, the support education program for the kids, because we found that many kids, they have really difficulties with like learning, and especially that the UNRWA schools, it's overcrowded. Each class have more than 45 children in each class. So if you wanted to divide the number of minutes on the number of children, each child has less than 1 minute, So we decided here in the center to start this program and to work with kids, because it's very important in this age like to have a good education.
What's your hope for the future?
I hope, first of all, this occupation will be ended. Like, I hope that this separation wall will be removed. We hope like to have really a good life with equity, with dignity, with freedom, like to move where we want without like checkpoints, without occupation, to travel everywhere without like many questionings, to live in safe, because like most of the people here, when they storm their houses, the Israeli soldiers storm their houses, they realize that they are not living in a safe place. So I hope that we have to live in safe and in dignity. I wish also, and I hope also like the center to have more projects, to have more funds and budget, like to flourish and to help more people, and also to have more projects to work with different things with the people here, to educate the people, to give them a safe space and a place to develop themselves, their skills and extra.
Okay, Anas, thank you much.
Thank you.